I took 8 days off of YouTube. 8 days, completely off. Didn't touch it, didn't produce, didn't really even check in. I did on my phone some, but not from a creator standpoint. What I wanted to do was look at if YouTube and the algorithm punished me, or if there were changes in metrics or consequences. Those of y'all that are considering having a YouTube channel or have one, this is the video for you all. If you want to look behind the scenes on my business stuff, we're going to check out my actual metrics. I'll even show you my earnings and all of that. Full YouTube stats access. What happens when you take 8 days off of YouTube and don't produce whatsoever? What's going on, everybody? It's Adam at Proper Royals. Thank you for joining me today. If we've not met before, this channel is all about my family's ball python journey from hobby to business. Now, if you clicked on this going, I thought this was going to be about YouTube metrics, not ball pythons, you're mostly correct, but it's vis-a-vis my ball python business, which is what this channel is all about. And we document all the business growth and how we go from hobbyist to hopefully eventually full-time ball python breeder. So we cover all that right here. So check it out. Check out some of the other videos. I hope you like the channel. I'd love to see you back again to hang out. While you're checking things out, check out the Linktree link below. It has links to all of our socials, all of our, we have an NFT collection, and it even has direct contact information for how to get in touch with me if you want to reach out to me. And sponsors, I'd always love to talk to you about sponsorship or brand deals if you think that an alignment with the Proper Royals brand would suit your brand. I'd love to talk with you about it as well. Let me give you some context before we dive into some really nerdy kind of stats and whatnot today. I've been producing YouTube videos on this channel for, let's just for easy math, let's call it a year and a half. I started producing YouTube videos, I believe, in November of 2020. A year and a half, I've produced really consistently. I really haven't taken any time off in that time from producing. Life happens. First off, we need breaks. So that's really kind of a nutso pace that I was on anyway. Also, this is not my full-time job, my primary stream of income. A company that I've worked for nearly 6 years now, and that I still do a lot of consulting and advising for, asked me to come and get into the operations, and restaurants are my background. So restaurants, weddings, events, 2 weddings, new restaurants opening. It was a holiday week. It was the week of Easter and right into Easter weekend, and it was going to be a very busy time. So I said, yes, I'll go work. Generally on a weekly basis, I always do a live show. That's Tuesday nights at 8 o'clock, and it's based on ball python business and other breeders and collectors. And then I always do at least 1 video a week, and I generally do 2 videos a week. And those are traditional length. I'm not talking shorts and that sort of thing. True YouTube classic content format. Well, I did none of that while I was gone. I did none of that for 8 days. I didn't produce, I didn't do anything. But basically it was 1 week, it was 1 rotation. I missed 1 live show, didn't produce 1 or 2 videos depending on what YouTube was expecting. Spoiler alert, YouTube kicked my butt. Man, that machine wants you to produce. I didn't quite realize how, you produce, you get these results. You don't, well, it drops off. And I don't know if that's purposefully driven or if that's truly just data results driven. What we'll look at today and talk through is some exact, specific, legitimate, literal, my stats from before and after that 8-day break. I've been back 10, 12 days now. So we'll look at my stats today in real time. And then it just so happened I filmed a video with my good buddy Gershon over at GP Snakes. If you get a chance, check him out. He and I bounce a lot of business ideas off of each other, and if there's something I can learn from him, I love to. But I had done a video with him where I was showing him looking at YouTube metrics and how I find them valuable. And that was just before I left. So I have a snapshot of what was going on right before I left and what's going on now. And again, the only difference is that I took an 8-day sabbatical in the middle. And I'm going to show you today what changed on that. And looking at that, we're gonna keep it at 6 metrics. So, and these are all based on a rolling 28-day average. So today's metrics are based on today going back 28 days. The before metrics from before I took my break focus on the rolling 28 days, so that date to 28 days back, okay? We're gonna look at views, watch time, revenue, subscriptions, impressions, and unique viewers. And I'll tell you a little bit about each of those. Most of them are pretty self-explanatory, but I'll tell you why they're important to me as well. And I'll show you the screenshots and we'll go through it. My channel has been doing, in my opinion, really great. You know, I'm not blowing up like, you know, Mr. Beast or anything. I like the content that I'm producing. I like the traction that I'm getting. But before I left on that break, which wasn't a break, I went and worked my butt off like crazy. I think I worked 75 hours in like 6 days, man. I worked, holy cow. So we'll just go through. So here's the screenshot from when I was with Gershon, and I apologize, a little grainy because I had to use the recorded version that I downloaded, so it's lost some resolution, but I'll show you what I'm talking about. I'll talk you through it. Before, I was getting 8.1 thousand views per month, which is pretty good. Like I say, I don't do shorts, so I don't get the quick viral pops. These are engaged viewers. 8,000 a month, 8.1 thousand. My watch time was 1.5 thousand hours, so 1,500 hours of cumulated content was being consumed by all of my viewers in those 28 days before I had left. My revenue, look at that. I'm not getting rich or quitting my job or anything, but $76, $76.92. So about $2.50 a day that I didn't have before. Or, you know, and I'm sorry if you're not into ball pythons, they eat rodents, and rodents cost me about $2.50 to $3 a piece. One of my objectives this year is to pay for my feeding costs of my hobby through YouTube. So actually, I was making a dent in that. $76.92 in the previous 28 days. Subscribers. 101 subscribers in the previous 28 days. So I was above averaging 3 subscribers a day. Impressions. Impressions are the number of times that YouTube shows your content and it gives people an opportunity to click on it. So whether it's suggested in the home screen, whether it comes up in YouTube search, whether it's in the column on the right hand side as a video, or you know, while you're watching a video, hey, if you like this video, you might like these. And the impressions at the end, like on an end screen where, you know, I'm wrapping up saying thank you, and then these 2 videos pop up here. All of those combined are impressions, is what those are called. And in a month, YouTube had presented or given impressions of my content 105,000 times. Pretty cool. And then unique viewers, the number of individual viewers that I was reaching. So my views were 8.1 thousand, but my unique viewers were 3.4 thousand. So that means I was averaging more than 2 views per viewer each month. 3,500 people, I don't know about you, but that seems like a lot to be reaching for a really niche down channel topic like ball pythons. That is the context of what the before numbers were. Then I go to work, make some money, help out my old company that has looked out for me, got to be professional and see my old crew and my old chef, you know, my old stomping ground that I had really worked hard to build for 5+ years. So we go from the before, 8 days of Adam going crazy, working and driving like a madman. I get home. The truth of the matter is, I was going to say I couldn't get right back to it. I did get right back to it because it was a Tuesday that I came home and I did my live show that night. And by Thursday, I had another video out of regular YouTube content. So I actually did get back to it very, very quickly. What I saw in the after was stunning. This algorithm wants you to keep going. My goodness, it's brutal. Look at these stats as of today, right here, right now. And like I said, I've been back 10 or 12 days. So I've done 2 more live shows, and I've now published 3 more videos since I've been back. Here's my stats. 28-day rolling average. Views, they were 8.1 thousand. They're right now at 5.4 thousand. This is down like 30%. Man, how's a business to succeed being down 30%? Watch time. I was at 1,500 hours previously. Right now, 938 hours. And again, down over 30%. This is a brutal punishment. My revenue has dropped from $76.92 in 28 days down to $25.90. It dropped 67%. What? Like, I'm laughing out loud because these are astronomical, absurd numbers. Like, if I were sitting in a boardroom talking about restaurant performance in these terms, like, I'd be fired or I'd be dead if I had, raised millions of dollars to go open an amazing restaurant, and these were the results. Incredible. My subscriptions right now are trending at 46 in 28 days, down from 101, down more than 50%. Herein is a big difference too, and maybe the root of it. The impressions are down from 105,000 to 85,000. To me, impressions are where it all starts. I can't get clicks if there's not impressions. Click-through rate is secondary to the impressions. Click-through rate is the percentage of people that click on the impressions. So if the impressions are down, everything else is going to be down. I have to make sure whatever I do in the future that I keep up YouTube's interest in pushing my content, and apparently feeding this monster is how you do it. 8 days, one week out of 52, 2% of the year, down 20,000 and 23% on impressions. My unique viewers dropped from 3.4 thousand down to 2.7 thousand. Why all this is important to me is because this isn't just, it's not really, it's not a hobby. It is a hobby, it's fun, and it's not my livelihood, but I want it to be. So this is stunning news. Like, I have to plan accordingly in the future for what in the world I'm gonna do if I wanna take a week off. Most people, we want to take 2, 3, 4 weeks off a year, right? Like that's a vacation time. Those are stunning consequences for stepping away for 1 week without any alternative plans. Now, one solution that YouTube does offer is that I can schedule videos to publish. If I were to leave and go on another break, I would pre-make videos. I would put in the work ahead of time to make some extra content that I could drop on a Thursday and that I could drop on a Sunday. The live shows are a little bit of a different challenge, and I don't know if it judges me more harshly on that, or the flip side is that if it's giving me such a reward for being consistent with it. That was the first time I had missed Tuesday night at 8 p.m. in about 6 months of live shows. So I've been extremely dedicated to it, and I've maybe it's been rewarding me by inflated impressions and watches and all of that kind of thing. Man, it really hit hard. I guess what I would do, there is a function where you can play something live that's pre-recorded. So maybe I would do a show that didn't have the audience interaction, but I would still have content. So if you're thinking of, if you have your own YouTube channel, heads up. And if you're thinking of starting it, first you got to be consistent and produce, but more importantly, it's work, man. There's no free rides. It's like anything in life. Most of the things that are going to provide a good return for you take work. And let me be clear, the return for me is not the $76. The return for me is building the community, building my brand, a brand of trust, a brand of quality, a brand and a community of other breeders and potential customers. Let's call it what it is. So it is an advertising and a marketing play. The other thing is, I talked earlier about anybody interested in sponsorships. I make okay money with brand alignment, deals, partnerships, sponsorships, ad spots in my videos. And one of the big selling points is the 3.4 thousand unique viewers that I typically am in the ballpark of. This 2.7, first it's 20% down, but it just sounds less. 3 point anything versus 2 point anything, that's way down. So that's kind of tough. I gotta remember that next time I want to go on a. Hopefully next time I'll take an actual vacation rather than a hiatus to work. There you go. There's a little look behind the curtain of what we face as creators and challenges we face when we're trying to make this a part of a viable business. It's certainly things to think of if you're thinking of jumping in the YouTube pond, looking to make it a part of your business. If I can ever help you, feel free to reach out to me. Again, my contact information is in the Linktree link below. In the meantime, you can always check out these videos right here to keep up with everything that we have going on at Proper Royals. Consider subscribing. I'd love to have you hang out and have you back again next time. I can't wait until I see you in the next video. Until then, see ya!